Hello, this is the RPG Crawler, and welcome back to my playthrough of Pillars of Eternity. Now, when last we left, we had just picked up a new party member, a ranger. And, we've still got this entire area, the Wood End Plains, to take care of, most of which is going to be dealing with those fucking lions. So, let's start at the lower end. And once more, I will cruise through and show the highlights. Alright, here's the west end of the map, and that does open that bridge up. But, as per my pattern here, I'm going to explore this entire area. Oh, we got some sort of building here. A house. It's a little further south than the ruins I uncovered last time, so it might actually be something. Is it something? Doesn't look like it's anything. Looks like it's just map decoration. A sparrow's nest is tucked between two angled slats. Yeah, it's a ruined house. Oh well. And back towards where those lions handed me my ass. An enemy spotted lion. Where is it this time? There we go, there it is. Boom! Talk about the ranged attack. I got a whole volley of them. Okay, it's badly injured. And there it goes down.
Feels like I've been tossed
Lion
around
hide.
in a snowstorm.
Well, aside from a little gathering over there, it looks like I've found somebody else. Jalen DeMarth. Okay. That is another backer thing. Some camping supplies. Tucked under the flap of this bedroll is a relic of some kind, a small conch shell strung with seaweed. Well, it looks like the lions are up in their own little place up there, so I gotta actually go up there. Well, we're up here. I'm going to try and circle around towards one edge. Now what I've done is I've equipped some ranged weapons in my main, so I should be able to do a full volley. What the fuck? Yeah, why the hell did all my people decide to run up there? That may have just fucked me up here. Because look, they're all in amongst my people now. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to do something. Try and stun these guys a bit. Not necessarily stun them, but at least slow them down. And since everybody's already together, I may as well throw down a consecrated ground. Time to rage. And try to knock one of these guys down. Okay. Rage is up. Looks like Merchant Stall's construction is complete, so I gotta handle my stronghold after this. Okay. And now I can bring up some skeletons, I guess. Looks like they're chewing up my priest here for some unknown reason. Probably because he's in the front fucking line. I'm gonna back my main up here a little bit. Then try to knock this lion away. This lioness. Okay, didn't do me any good, so yeah, we'll go ahead and drop our freezing fog over here. Yeah, it looks like these guys are circling around my back. Did I take one line out? Yeah, I took one line out. So at least I'm that farther ahead. I've got one badly injured, one barely injured, an elder lion, and a lioness that's injured. Let's take this one out first. And it looks like my main just went down. Fuck. Alright, that one's down. Let's get this one over here. And that elder lion's probably the one that's fucking everybody up. Yeah. Gotta get my barbarian on her. Nope. Barbarian's down. That lioness is near death. But I've got enough to pop another creature, but this time I'm going to pop the ghost. Why? Because the ghost is going to really help me, I suspect. Okay, looks like my priest went down. Let's take this lion out. And that lion's out. So I've just got the elder lion to deal with, and it's already injured. Unfortunately, so am I. I'm like down to just one guy. Or two people. Okay, what does she have that she can do? Marked prey, I guess? I should have been using her special abilities from the very beginning. Okay, it's badly injured. Does she have any melee weapons? Yeah, she needs to switch to those.
My boat.
Because it's right near her. And since it's on Eder, we will throw Eder into defense mode. Come on, let me take this last one out. It's near death. And it's just Eder versus the lion. Eder versus the lion. Who shall win? Oh man. This is kind of tense. Okay. And it looks like we win. Go Eder. He soloed that elder lion. Lion hide and elder lion fang. A bunch of lion hides. Problem. Well, that's worth saving. Now let's see what this body is over here. Waves are roughly chiseled into the stone. They grasp at Andra's beloved moon like curling fingers. We've got Hearth Harvest, which is a unique hatchet. Which is, wow, that looks really nice. You know who needs that? My freaking ranger needs that, I think. Yeah, she's got a fine hatchet right now and a fine dagger. We're gonna put... Yeah, we're gonna put this in her offhand. Because that way, that is just a straight upgrade. So I got some sort of magic axe now. Yay! I mean, my ranger's going to be doing pretty decent, I think, because she's really got a lot going for her. Not the least of which is that pet. I just need to learn how to use her, that's all. Alright, I will see you in the bridge area. Now, before I head too far into the bridge area, I've got to go ahead and update my stronghold status. What do we have left to purchase? I need to get those barracks. Can I get them yet? Not enough money. I need 1,000 more copper. Let's get... Our options are Towers or Western Barbican. Or the shit down here. Let's get the lab. My main is a wizard, after all. And here we are in the Edelwan Bridge area, and it is already revealed for me. There you go to Copper Lane. Which means there's not a lot of exploration, but I'm going to take a look anyway. How we here? Grab a few plants, then head on in. Can't go up there. Looks like there's people all over. Once again, I will head to each one. If you need an inn for the night, Goose and Fox has the softest beds and the best ale. Yes, I do need an inn. Welcome to Defiance Bay, but watch yourself in our city. Understand? Yes, I understand. But I also understand that these are unguarded. So, you know, before I technically go in the city, I just went ahead and looted that shit. Alright, let's see what Defiance Bay has to offer. Copper Lane, which I guess I need to explore each of these in turn. Take you 15 minutes. So no instantaneous transfer between maps like in Baldur's Gate.
Defiance Bay. The city at the
Here
heart
we
of
go.
the Deerwood's revolution now seems on the brink of another. Refugees line the streets, homeless and hungry, displaced by White One's legacy. hoping for relief within the city walls, and finding none. Dissidents congregate to protest and to heckle, calling for an end to animancy and the ouster of their duke. The city's militiamen cast fearful looks as they patrol the streets, their hands trembling at the hilts of their weapons. The capital of a country that had not long ago incinerated a god now appears to be a spark away from sharing the deity's fate.
So it looks like trouble is brewing in the city. See what this place has to offer us. How big is this area? Ah, it's already revealed, so I don't have to worry about exploring it. We have the Goose and Fox, which is the inn we were told about right off the bat. Brackenbury, which I assume is a gateway to another area. The Catacombs. First Fires, which is a gate to another section of the city. The Hall of Revealed Mysteries. Scrivener's Dormitory. Lumdala's House. World Map. Pernus's House. Marketplace, and Admith's Den Expedition Hall. So there's all a bunch of nice stuff and some sort of amphitheater in there, so there is a lot to explore in this area. Let's head on through, you know, pick up what I can from these loose boxes out in the middle of the streets.
Crown jewel of the Deerwood, if you ask the locals, anyway.
Alright, we got a bunch of protesters. And some guy up here. We allow these atrocities to continue unchecked. See what the Justikar has to offer. What is it? I'm looking for the Temple of Wodika. Ah, if you say so. It's in First Fires, just west of Crucible Keep.
Eh?
Alright. But first we got shit to do. Let's talk to Rowan. Rowan's arms are crossed, and his mouth is set in a grim frown as he watches the gathered protesters. He looks ready for a fight. He sizes you up. New in town, eh? You've picked an interesting time to visit Defiance Bay. All these refugees fleeing the frontier and finding the legacies no better here. It's the Animancers, Magra and Scorch'em, and they nest in this city like rats. You mark my words, though. Us dozens are going to put a stop to it. Okay, tell me about the dozens. We're an organization of interested citizens who want to free Defiance Bay from the dangerous influence of Animancers and the tyranny of the aristocrats who support them. We also consider ourselves a militia of sorts, seeing as the Crucible Knights are little more than a flock of preening nobles in training these days. Just like a militia, the dozens, except for the training, and the discipline, and the code of honor. His eyes gleam. And we're always looking to expand. The more people see things our way, the better the state of the country. You have any interest in hearing more, stop by Admith's Den sometimes, the Expedition Hall. A lot of free thinkers in there, can set straight all the nonsense the nobles and the Animancers want you to believe. Might even be some paid work there for motivated types. I'd like to know more about Defiance Bay. This is the capital of the Free Palatinate of the Deerwood. We started out as the capital of an Adiran colony, but we booted the Flaccid Scepter from these lands 150 years ago. These days, we are a major port receiving trade and visitors from all over the world, but we, some of us anyway, strive to hold on to the pioneering spirit that earned us our freedom a century and a half ago. The city is divided into 5 districts: Copper Lane, First Fires, Andra's Gifts, Brackenbury, and Heritage Hill. He ticks off each on a calloused finger. Alright, each of these areas has a description, I guess. Tell us about Copper Lane. This here is Copper Lane. It's primarily a market district, but you've also got the Expedition Hall directly north of here, where you can join treks into the wilds. That's where my fellow dozens marchers those fellow dozens marchers? Okay. The name of this organization is going to fuck me up, because it's like... Yeah, okay. My fellow dozens marchers and I tend to meet up with the other concerned citizens. He points to a long, domed building west and north of your position. And that's the Hall of Revealed Mysteries. Eerie place, if you ask me, but they've got the biggest library in the Deerwood. Kana laughs. Eerie indeed. It might be less so if it were more kith stepped inside. Perhaps we ought to visit RPG Crawler and see what mysteries are revealed. I believe that I agree with that. Tell me about Brackenbury. A noise of disgust rattles in his throat. The nobility that didn't sail back to Ader stayed there. Most of the families there trace their lineage back to old imperial times. Other than a lot of has-been nobility, you've got Hadrit House, where Lady Webb and her spies operate, And Brackenbury Sanitarium, the main cesspit of animancy in this city. He spits on the cobblestones. Tell me about first fires. That's where the revolution started, hence the name. These days it's overrun with politicians and panderers, but we'll take it back someday. That's where you'll find the Ducal Palace, the Valian Embassy, and Crucible Keep. He shakes his head. The Crucible Knights were the original freedom fighters in Defiance Bay, but now they're just strutting peacocks with their eyes on fancy titles and their heads up their asses. There's an old temple of Wodica there, too. We keep it real nice for her. He winks. Tell me about Andra's gift. Got the name because it has a wetland that was drained back in the Imperial days. Now it's a seedy district populated by sailors, common folk, and more than a few thugs. But it's a fun place, too, if you know where to look. He winks and elbows you. Look for a place called the Salty Mast when you're there. Other than that, it's mostly warehouses and abandoned homes. Tell me about Heritage Hill. He shivers. It used to be one of the most prestigious districts in the city. Heroes of the Revolution claimed plots up there, next to an ancient Angwethan tower and the city cemetery. Had the best views in Defiance Bay. It attracts richer types these days. A lot of animancy patrons. He spits. He glances at the crowd and lowers his voice. You wouldn't have heard, but something happened over there a couple months ago. The authorities sealed it off, and they're keeping their mouths shut. But mark my word, animancy is to blame. Let's talk about something else. What are you doing out here? He gestures at the crowd, which buzzes with angry chatter. Trying to get folk to see reason. We're in the midst of a crisis, and instead of purging the nefarious forces from our city, the Duke is granting animancers dangerous liberties. What do you know about animancy? It's the study and manipulation of essence, which any sane person will tell you is the purview of the gods. The Adirans at least had the sense to outlaw it, which is the only good thing you should say about them. It's not like magic, chanting, or the soul readings those ciphers do. It's been around since ancient Angwethan times, which is why you'll see animancers tinkering with old Angwethan artifacts. Kana raises a fist to cough discreetly into it. Half-truths all, but he's an enthusiastic performer. I'll give him that. He shakes his head. Trouble is, the animancers got no idea what half those artifacts actually do. Not that they'll admit it. Alright, I think I've learned enough from him.
Yeah.
So that's the Dozens' take on the city. The calm waters smell faintly of refuse. As most waterways in major cities might. The Goose and Fox, where I guess I would go ahead and rest. I think I'm going to rest first. Explore what's in here after I take a nap. Alright, right off the bat we got a group of people down there, one of which looks like some sort of anime character. Alright, we'll step back. An actress? You find all sorts. Everyone's a philosopher here.
How do you do?
Welcome to the Goose and Fox. The man behind the bar is nearly the size of an Almawa. Fucking A, those names. A handle protrudes from his back, and his face is set in a stoic frown. He gives you a small nod. Here for a drink? There's a tiny pewter cup in front of him. He turns in one broad hand, but doesn't drink from it. I'll go ahead and get a room. I'll show you what I got. I have absolutely no need for anything but the common room.
Welcome.
This is a lively place. It was founded in the early days of Derwoodian independence by a traveling scholar named Errol of Levi. He wanted a place where kith of all backgrounds could gather and hash out the issues facing their new country. He rests his elbows on the polished wood bar of the bar. It didn't take long for the place to fill up. Brackenbury aristocrats argued with dock workers from the Gift, while soldiers wrangled with politicians. Derwoodans have never been known to turn down an argument. He takes a sip from his tiny cup. What happened next? Soon, kith were coming in from the farms and settlements, too. He waves at the door as if expecting a crowd to bustle in. This place got even more popular with the Valian sailors in the Salty Mast, and that was the problem. He drains his cup. No matter what people say about fair-mindedness and civil debate, there's only so much people will tolerate. Errol found himself on the wrong side of an argument with the wrong Thane, and when he disappeared a few days later, some said it was the work of that Thane. But Errol knew which way the wind was blowing. If you ask me, he skipped town, hid out somewhere, hoping for rational minds to prevail in Defiance Bay. He cracks a grin. If only he could see it now. Alright, well, tell me about yourself. Name is Bishop. Used to be a scholar of Barath. Now I run the Goose and Fox and keep the regulars in line. What more is there to tell? How'd you go from religion to taverns? The journey isn't as long as you'd think. It started with Hollowborn, and with this. He takes a black bottle from under the bar and fills a pewter cup. It was my sister's son. At the beginning of Waidwin's legacy, he was one of the first. I had never expected there would be so many after him. Tragedy is part of the cycle, but is followed by rebirth. Yet every year, more parents are grieving for their Hollowborn children, and the gods were silent. What answer were you expecting? Bereth promises rebirth, cycles, but the only cycle I found was this one. Have a drink, have another, and another until I couldn't remember how I got home. Wake up, come back. I finally woke up one day to see my family had packed up and left. For all I know, they'd left days before and I just hadn't noticed. But they were gone, so I came here. I've cleaned up since then, not that I've found my answers. He tosses the cup back. I've just stopped asking questions. Alright, so that's kind of sad, actually, but let's see if any of these guys are anything but, or anything regarding the quest. Oh, you know what? They're slightly gold, so I can determine it from that way. There's a noble, an unnamed noble there. There's somebody named Kanera up here. A woman sits by herself, spinning something on the table in front of her, and watching it with furious intensity. It's about the size of a coin, and it wobbles over a crack in the wood with a metallic rattle. She snatches it up with one hand and slams a half-empty cup down on the table with the other. This is not a good time. What are you doing here? Just trying to calm down and trying to talk myself out of something foolish. Something foolish? She says nothing for a few moments, as if hoping you'll leave. At last, Kanera looks up at you, and the lamplight falls across her face. A purpling bruise is blossoming along her cheekbone. There's something I need to give to my fiancé, Statuesque. Only he doesn't seem to go anywhere without his new friends, and they're not exactly pleasant company. Tell me about these new friends. They come into our house with their dead eyes and their black teeth. I'm not a fool. I know what it means. Statuesque makes me leave when they show up, but it's obviously what they come to do. Last night they came. I told them to get out. Let them have their fun somewhere in the gift, but not under my roof. She scowls and then winces, her fingertips gently probing her bruise. Svef changes you, I guess. The Perniche I know wouldn't have squashed a spider. I never thought he'd... She trails off, still feeling the swollen, discolored flesh. I thought Svef just made people lay around not doing much. I don't really know. Seemed better than believing he's always been this way. Maybe I should go talk to him. Her hand rests on the table and she clenches into a white-knuckled fist. There's nothing more to say to him. We're finished. I just want to give this back to him and have it clean break. She opens her hand and a ring clatters onto the table. It was his grandmother's. Even after this, I don't have the heart to sell it off. But if I go back there myself, I know what'll happen. I'll lose my temper and I'll probably wind up with another one of these. I'll take this ring to Perniche then. She looks at you and nods. The house is just north of here. Just please don't hurt him. As furious as I am, I don't want that on my conscience. I'll try not to rough him up too much. I promise he won't be hurt at all. After all, he won't feel a thing. Theft. This place is locked. Is anybody here to witness me? I don't think so. Oh, bartender's ring. Nice. Okay. Now, what does that bartender's ring do? Properties. Preservation. Plus 20%. Plus 20 defense while stunned and prone. Yeah. He can have it. Eder can have it because it'll really help him. Alright, anything else I need in this place? Don't think so. There's a stairs up, I guess. Yeah, but I don't. Do I need the upstairs? Yeah, I may as well. Alright, upstairs. Hurdy, Deadshot Daden, and Ilfa. Okay. These guys got nothing to say. Key and two-tone weasel. Here we go. An Orland man relaxes with his feet propped up on the table. Patches of dark brown skin peek out from under a full mane of blue-green hair. He and the Orland woman with him exchange laughs and comments with the trio at a nearby table, and he spins a dagger in his hand. His hazel eyes watch you. You look like you've seen a night or two in the wilds. Joining us for a drink? Who are all of you? The name's Two-Tone Weasel. Weasel. I'm just going to call him Weasel. The lady next to me is Key. We've had our fun with the expeditions, but we're hoping to enjoy a little peace and quiet, for the next few weeks anyway. I'm Dreadshot Dayton. This is Hurdy and Ilfa. We were a part of a separate expedition teams, but we both suffered losses and decided to band together. Beasts, barbarians, bioax. It's a dangerous time to be an adventurer, but a prosperous one, too. And here's to many more prosperous journeys. Is there something else you wanted? Nah. So we got an adventuring group up there. Our rival adventuring group.
I can do that.
And, we will loot these rooms while we can. Oh, here a minute. I think they would intervene if I went to loot that. Or would they?
A simple test.
Unlocked, and yeah, it looks like they'd intervene. More gold names.
I can do that.
Well, I'm earning experience from opening this shit. There's that much. What the hell is with these small fonts? The most unfortunate tale of something in Barras, a Valayan tragedy, which I'm going to grab. Because I can't have too many books. And I think that's it. I could possibly get other shit, but nah. Alright, back to the street. Find out what's around this district. Alright, back to Copper Lane, except it's nighttime now. Let's head down here. Another gold name, another bridge. Psst, over here, mister. A young boy watches the passerby and counts a grimy handful of coins. His face and arms are smudged with dirt, but except for a few grass stains, his clothes are in good condition. As you approach, he blinks and makes a quick furtive effort to pocket his coins. Hey, mister, want to know a secret? He wipes his nose with a sleeve. I know a real good secret. Looks like we got a little hustler here. Someone raised this kid right. Really? What is it? He shrugs and clasps his hands behind his back, kicking a loose pebbles. I just saw folks hiding some really neat things. I could show you where, but Mom and Dad told me not to talk to strangers. His eyes slowly roll up at you. But maybe you could help me with something. Then we wouldn't be strangers. Help me with what? Gordy's voice suddenly rises in pitch and tempo. The Crucible Knights have these daggers made out of March steel. It's the best steel around, except for Durgan steel, which doesn't count because no one makes it anymore. He stops long enough to catch his breath. Anyway, there's this merchant over by the expedition hall, and he has a dagger made of real March steel. His eyes grow large and round. He said he wouldn't sell it to me because I'm a kid, and kids don't know anything about daggers. But that's not true. I know lots about daggers. I know about the different kinds of steel. I know how the Crucible Knights make them in a forge. I know that the tip can pierce low-gauge scale armor. That one that's good and sharp can cut through bone. See, I know plenty about daggers, and I really, really want this one. If you could just get it for me, I promise I'll never, ever ask anyone for anything ever again. Eder, I used to have a knife when I was his age. I don't know a better way to learn what you should and shouldn't stab. I say we give him a chance. Technically speaking... Grab Gordy by the shirt and hold him above your head. That is funny. We'll try the rational one. You're too young to play with knives. I'm sure your parents told you that, or you wouldn't be asking me. But if I'm going to be a real warrior, I have to start training young, just like the heroes in the stories. I know I was a great warrior in a previous life. My mom even says I have an old soul. Fine, I'll help you. Gordy jumps up and down, whooping and hollering. I know a real adventurer would understand. He points to a large building. There's a big merchant over by Admeth's den who sells weapons. He's the one with the dagger. I'll wait right here for you. Alright, seems like we're going to give a small child a sharp object, which is just fine with me. Eder's got the right of it. Sorry, I can't talk right now. The statuesque woman has a gaze that could cut stone. She turns her chiseled cheekbones to the sky and favors you with a look of acknowledgement. Her eyes shimmer under silvered eyeshadow and razor-precise line of kohl. Before you can speak, she throws her hand up in a dramatic
Welcome.
fashion. Autographs after the performance, please. Great art requires great concentration, and greatness is expected from the Revel of the Stars. What is the Revel of the Stars? We are the finest theater troupe in the city. We believe that the best art is immersive and true to life. She looks at the amphitheater with a rapturous expression. We stage our performances right here in Copper Lane for the edification of all. I suppose I can spare a moment for a fan. What do you do? That depends entirely on the demands of the role. She lays a slender hand on her chest. I am the Pallid Knight, the Widow of the Wood, and the Warrior Queen Moega, all at different times. To live a different life each day is a glorious thing indeed, my friend. Does the Revel of Stars take in many new members? But of course. Good drama is balm to the soul, and we wish to offer a true theatrical experience to as many as possible. What kind of members do you take? We'll take in the new and old, the tall and small, the experienced and inexperienced. Whoever is best suited to fulfill a role to the utmost. How long do you keep them? As long as they are able to satisfy the demands of their roles. She smooths a wayward strand of hair. True acting can be a grueling process, so some last longer than others. Ask something else? I think that's it. Rest are audience members and or actors. It seems like one of those games where it might be actually worthwhile to watch a performance sometime, but I'm not going to do it just yet. Dalton. This elderly man paces back and forth, taking short, hobbled steps. His gaze is distant, and beneath it are the dark rings of many restless nights. He appears to be having a conversation with someone who isn't there. And the way you fought, cutting down two at a time, we shared quite a victory, you and I. Who are you talking to? The man looks up at you, startled. Oh, by the flame, for just a moment I thought I heard her. He put a hand to his chest, catching his breath. What troubles you? Just the memories of my youth and the Northwatch Rangers, trials and adventures from a lifetime ago. He shakes his head. Of late, the memory of lost battles and fallen friends has been especially vivid. Tell me about these memories. It's been nearly 60 years. We were known throughout the Deerwood then. We thought we'd adventure together forever, collecting coppers and inspiring songs. The wrinkles around his eyes deepen. That was until we faced Helig of Thane. He was a wizard whose experiments in necromancy left a trail of bodies, some reanimated, from Solace Vale to Midwood. We tracked him as he fled towards the Valian republics, catching him just west of the Lake of Drowned Tombs. We were fools. Seasoned as we were not prepared for his foul magic. Our numbers were nothing against his power. A wiser man would have ordered a retreat, not me. By some curse of the gods, I was knocked out. And when I awoke, my rangers, my Rowena, they were all dead. He holds empty air in his arms. Who is? My friend, my companion in arms, and my love. We'd planned to adventure together until we grew old enough to settle down and enjoy our fortunes. Young as we were, we couldn't imagine anything would tear us apart. I know this sounds like an old man's madness, but I hear her. A voice just over my shoulder, calling to me in my dreams. At night, I see her wandering the catacombs beneath the city, trying to escape. Foolish as it sounds, I can't shake the idea that she's somehow down there, waiting for me. I've even ventured below, though it damn near cost me my life. Were I half the warrior I was in my youth, I'd search every grave and rat hole. As it is, I'm stuck in this feeble body with the agonizing notion that my love is somehow down there, beyond my help. I'll search the catacombs for a sign of Rowena. Tears spring to the old man's eyes. There's an entrance just southwest of here, on the other side of the canal. He sniffs and wipes his eyes. You are truly a gift from the gods, if there's anything you can find of her. Okay, so I gotta go down to the catacombs, which I was planning to do anyway, just because tooling around catacombs and robbing graves is a good source of income. Lumdala's house. I forget, who was Lumdala? Was that the actress? Let's go ahead and investigate this house. Okay. Get gold. Okay, unlocking that requires a proper key, so that's quest related, I guess. An egg. Well, got some gold and an egg.